Hello everyone and welcome back to the episode 3 of Python for Machine Learning tutorial. In this episode, we are going to explore some of the most important building blocks in Python like if-else statement, loops and functions. You will be able to learn when to use each of these blocks, like when to use the if-else, when to use loops and when to use functions, and how they will look like when they all work together to make your code powerful and efficient. So let's get started. So if else statement, and I think you may have the knowledge of working with if statements with Java or C++ or C programming language. The basics of if statements are same with other programming languages, but syntax are different in Python. So we will check elaborately today. In Python or in other programming languages, so this basic is same, like if statement let us make decisions based on conditions. It checks whether something is true or false and then runs the code block accordingly. If it has some code block for true or it has some code block for false, and it checks the control structure and lets the program make decisions based on the conditions, and either it enters to the true block or it enters to the false block, but not together at a time. And what is the difference between Python and other programming languages is that, like in Java or C++, C#, you have to use these curly braces to cover up the code blocks in if or else. But in Python you do not need to use any curly braces, but it uses only indentation to separate the code blocks. Indentation means, if you check in the right side, like see, if score is greater than equal to 60, then it enters this statement, or if the score is not greater than equal to 60, then it enters in the else block. So in the if from the if block, this print line or the statements, it's little bit far from this line, and in the else also this statement is little bit far from this line. So it means that this print pass falls under this if block, and this statement print fail falls under this else block. So now let's do some practice in Google Colab with playing with some if-else statements. This is the first block for if-else statement. That is, we are storing some values, -3 to temperature variable, and we are checking that if the temperature is less than 0, then it will print this block. So if you will run this, yes, if the value of the temperature is -3, which is less than 0, so this condition is true actually. And see, we are placing some colon here. That means if this condition is true, then enter this block. And this all these lines which is under if falls in the same indentation. Here you cannot write like this, or you cannot write like this. See, already error is some red marks is showing. So you have to have the same indentation under the if block. So now if we just change this to from -3 to +3, and if we run it again, see, it is not printing anything. Why? Because this is our condition, that if temperature is less than 0, then it will print these two lines. But we are giving the value of the temperature is 3, which is greater than 0 actually. So it is not entering in this if block, so it is not showing anything. But if we just it add another block, else block, that else you can go outside. Now if we again run this, now it is showing that you can go outside, because it is not falling in the if block, it is falling into the else block. And if we again give some thing like minus, so don't go outside, there is a chance of snowfall, so it is printing these blocks. You will use if else statement when you have to have some conditions, and based on these conditions you will execute only one block, not all the blocks together. So another example, I'm giving the value of the score is 68. So here in the last example, we only there are two condition, if or else, but there might be cases that you may have multiple cases, multiple conditions. Suppose the score value can be greater than equal to 90, the score value can be greater than equal to 75, or greater than equal to 60, or otherwise something. So in that case we will combine this if, else. Last one is if everything is false above, then it goes into the else. Here also the rule is same, that is it only enters to the one block only at a time. It will not enter like this if block and elif block together, never. Whichever condition is true, based on this that condition, it only enters to the one block. So now tell me what should be the output of this code. The score is 68. Oh, it falls under which block? Which condition is true here? If score is greater than equal to 90, no, the score is 68, which is not greater than equal to 90. It goes to the elif block. Now it's checking, so score is greater than equal to 75, still it's false. Now it's going to another block, elif, score is greater than equal to 60, yes, it falls under this block, and this condition is true actually now for this example, and it will print this grade C, you passed, review some topics. Yes, we are correct. Just make a change, a little bit change to the value like 58, so it will not fall under any of these block. Every block is actually false, so now it will print whatever mentioned in the else block. Yes. Okay, now we will study the while loop. So let's go back again to our slide. Our while loop keeps running as long as the condition is true. You should use it when you don't know in advance how many times something needs to repeat. For example, you might use a while loop to keep asking for a password until the correct one is entered. You have to just keep in mind that when you don't know in advance how many times you will need to repeat the same thing, in that case you will use the while loop, and this is the syntax of the while loop. Here also Python actually doesn't use any curly braces for anything. It uses indentation. So while after this is the while keyword, and after that you will mention the condition. The condition is password not equal to Python 123, this is the variable, and after that we will put colon, and colon means now the while loop started, and this is the indentation that it is little far from this line. So this indentation, you can add more lines to it, but you have to be careful about the same indentation. So both while loop and for loop falls into the category of loop, but there is a slight difference that when you should use while loop and when you should use for loop. This loop is used when you already know how many times you want to repeat something. It's perfect for looping through a list, string, or a range of numbers. For example, if you want to go through a shopping list or print something, print some numbers from 1 to 10, then use the for loop. It is the best. to use for loop. But when you don't know how many times you should repeat, like in the last example here, that is, you have to repeat the process until the correct password is given. In that case, you don't know how many times you have to repeat the process. In that case, you will use the while loop. And the case you already know that, yes, I have to repeat this process for 10 times or 100 times or some specific number of times, then I will use for loop. This example here in the right side, that for item in apple, banana and cherry, this is a list. We already know that within this third bracket it means it is a list. And for item in this list, print item, so it will print all the items, one item each line. So apple, banana and cherry, it will print. What should be the output of this block? Until the value of I is less than equal to 3, it will execute these two lines, and after that it will increment one value to I. So first of all, initially we are placing 1 for value I. Yes, this condition is true, 1 is less than equal to 3, so it will execute this loop number 1 and still going. And then for another run, the value of I will be 2, and again this condition is true, I is less than equal to 3, and these two lines will be executing again. Loop number 2 is still going, and after that the value of I will be 3 from 2, and it will check, yes, still this condition is true, I is less than equal to 3, and loop number 3 is still going. And after that the value of I will be 4 from 3, and this condition is false, and when this condition is false, it will not enter into this block. So yes, we are correct. Loop number 1 still going, loop number 2 still going, and loop number 3 still going. And because when it prints the loop number 3 still going, then in the value of I will be 3 plus 1, which is 4. So this condition is false in that case, so it will not enter into this block again. We will repeat a process for entering password, and we will check two things here. One check is if the user is giving correct password, python123, this is the correct password. And another thing is if the number of attempts is less than 3. The value of attempt is initially put as 0, and the password value is initially put as blank. We are not giving anything in this inverted comma, that means it is a null string. So these two value is initialized, and let's check here. The password is not equal to python123, as the password for the first time is blank, so this condition is true. The password is not equal to python123, so this condition is true. And we are combining multiple conditions with AND operator, logical operator AND. When there is an AND between the two conditions, in that case the two conditions needs to be true. Or if there is OR, in that case either of the condition can be true, but we want both of this condition true. So the process will be repeated until the user gives the correct password, but we have to limit the number of attempts. So user can try for 3 times, otherwise the system will be locked. And in our real life also we see this thing. So for the first time it will enter this enter password, and number of attempt will be incremented to 1. So from 0 it will the value will be 1, and it will show the value of the attempt. So enter password attempt 1, for the first time it will print. And this while loop, until these conditions is true, until that time these blocks will be executed, and only when this condition is false, in that case it will goes here. But until that time it will execute this time when these conditions is true. So for the second time it again checking that if the password is not equal to python 123 and if the number of attempts is 3, yes, 1 is 3. So maybe we can check by running this. So enter password. Maybe we can do something like maybe we will do this python, and no, because the correct password is python 123. We gave only python, so number of attempts is 1. Again, now it is asking because we gave the wrong password and number of attempts 1 means it is less than 3. So again we have a chance. Maybe this, still it's wrong. So again we have a chance because we still did not give the correct password and the number of attempts is less than 3, which is 2 now. So maybe see, after that it is not entering into this block because it is the number of attempts now more than 3, so access denied and too many failed attempts. It comes to the else block. So now run this again, and maybe we will give the correct password in the second try, and then it will print this if password is python 123, this is the correct password, then access granted, welcome to the system. So when it comes here, so again it doesn't go back to the while loop. When it comes here after this while loop, then either it will execute this or it will execute else. This is the for loop, the example of for loop. We saw this example in the slide. That let's run it, and another example is we are specifying a range 2, 11 and 2. What does it mean? This is a range function. This is a built-in function. We now after a while we will learn about something about built-in function. This is a built-in function actually in Python. So we are just calling that function. That is the first parameter we are giving 2, the second parameter we are giving 11, and the third parameter is 2. In that means the starting value is 2, the stopping value is 11, and the increment is 2. So if we run this, the even number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So see, we already know how many times we want to execute and where we have to stop and how much we have to increment. Everything we know, so that's why we are using for loop here. So if we here put some changes, see, it is touching starting value but it is not touching the ending value. So from 2 it will be started, but it will go until 18. So it will not touch the stopping value. What is function actually? A function is something that is a reusable block of code that performs some specific task, and you will define it once and you will call it as many times you need. So this helps to make your code more organized and easier to understand. Functions are especially useful when you want to perform the same logic multiple times to different parts of your program. Suppose it can be greeting someone with a name. So if there is no function here, in that case you have to repeat this line, that is hello Bob, hello Jane, hello Eve. So as there is a function here, you will just call this function with the name you want to be printed after hello. That's it, and it will make your code organized, modular and easy to read. Now let's check the example. There are some built-in functions first I will discuss, and then how the custom function you can write. So this is the string value hello to be stored in the text variable, and you are printing the length of the text. So what will be the output? 5, because hello has 5 letters. And then what will be the output here? Here you will know the task of sorted and round built-in function. There are many built-in function in Python. To make our life easy, we do not need to write these built-in function from scratch. We will just call these functions and use in our code accordingly. So here I want you to be careful in this, especially the round function, because sorted I think you already know about it. This sorted means it is sorting from ascending order, 2.6, 5.7 and 9.5 from lowest to highest. But in the round function there is a trick actually. It is rounding some values here, and the value is the index 1 position value. So index 1, the value is 2.6, so it is rounding the rounding to the nearest whole value. So 2.6, the nearest whole value is 3, that's why it is printing 3 here, and it is rounding. So here, if I you already know this thing, that if the value is greater than or equal to 0.5 after decimal place, then rounding will happen. So if the value is 2.5, then what will happen? It will print 3, or it will print what? It will print 2. If the value is 0.5, in that case, this is actually bank rounding. Bank rounding means if the value is 0.5, in that case it will round to the nearest even number. Nearest even number means 2.5 to 3 or 2.5 to 2. Which one is the nearest even number? Nearest even number is 2, so it will print 2. Only if the value is exactly 5. But if the value is greater than 5, then no problem. Then it will do the regular rounding, that the nearest whole value. So what will be the output in this case? It will round to 4 or 3. The nearest even number from 3.5 is 4, so it will print 4. This is the trick of rounding. Now the list methods, there are some methods are available in Python. Those are mostly related to the list. Like this is the list actually, Ali, Sarah, this is the list, and we can add more values to it with some built-in methods. What we will do, we will first put the list names, and then dot, the function name is append, and then we will write what name we want to append, then it will append to the last value. And if we print the names, then it will print this newly appended list. So in the first time it will appending Omar, and it is printing up to Omar, and after that again it will append another name, Khalid, and then it will print the whole list. Now there are other methods also. There are many methods, but these are very usable methods in machine learning actually. This append, count, index. Suppose we have a list here, the name of the cities. So if you want to count how many times this Doha has, so then we will specify the name of the list and mention this count function with whatever we want to check. We want to check the Doha, how many times it is here. So it should print count of Doha is 2, and then we can also print the index or position of anything. If we run it, then you can see that count of Doha is count function, it is calling, and it is checking how many times this same thing is there, and index of Dubai is 101. So now I want to show you, we are just making a little bit change. Then what will happen, we just put this this up from lowercase to uppercase, this h value, then it will count these Doha again, so it will actually do the exact match here. So this is actually exact match, and this does not match exactly because here H is capital letter. So here the number of counts is of Doha is 1, but if we make a exact match here, so again we run it and we will see this the count of Doha is 2. There are other built-in functions also which is related to a string. So suppose like we have a variable has value hello world, and we want to make this value to uppercase, then we will call this upper function, and then see it is upper it is all the letters is uppercase, and if we want to make all the letters to lowercase, and then all the letters are lowercase. Like we are mentioning some values Dona to a variable name, and then we want to replace something of this text of this string. These are methods related to string, and these were methods related to list. So here we will do this mention the string name and call this function replace. So what it will replace, it will replace NA with RA. So what will be the new name after this execution? What it will happen, that is it will replace the name value from NA to RA, and it will store this replaced value to this name to this new name variable. So if we now want to check that, just print the new name, then what is the output? So print the new name is it replaced the NA with RA, Dora, and replaced name is Dora is capitalized means it will make the first letter capital, and index of n is 2. See here we are calling the old variable name. Here there is two variable, name and new name. So what we are doing, we are replacing the value of name, but we are putting the replaced value to another variable, new name variable. So it is not affecting this, the old variable. So we can call this the old variable name dot index n. So name dot index n is 0, 1, 2, which is 2. But we can also do the same thing, like if you do not want any new variable, if you want to have the only one variable, in that case, so in that case, see this error will come because we are replacing the value NA with RA, and we are replacing the value of the variable to the same variable name, and this is capitalizing. Up to this it is correct, but why here is problem? The problem is already the previous value is replaced with the new value, so there is no more n now. That's why this substring is not found, error is showing. So if we just make this from n to r, then the output is correct. We will learn how to define our own function. So this is just a function, that greet function, and this is the definition, that def is the keyword, and this is the function name, and this is the first bracket, and this is the colon, and same here the indentation. So if you call this function hello Python learner, this is the function calling, and this is the function defining. So here a little bit change we can do. So so if we want to have this see we just modified the previous function a little bit. That we want to show the name after hello. So how we did it, we have added a parameter here, name, and when we are calling the function, we just passing the parameter Ali. So the value of Ali will be stored here in the name variable, and the value of that variable will be printed here. So just you have to change the value of the variable here, and the output will be changed accordingly. So what is the advantage? You do not need to write the whole line, that print hello, this thing line again and again. You have a function for it, and you are just calling that function with the name you want to be printed after hello, and just you are calling this function with that name. That's it. So this is the way you can organize your code. This is the function for calculating the discount. We have the original price, we have the sale price, and we know that this thing, that how to calculate the discount. And we want to print up to 2 decimal places. That's why this rounding function. And this rounding function, what it will do, it will round this variable value discount up to 2 decimal places. Okay, so we are calling this function. See, we are calling this calculate discount function, and there is 2 parameters. When there is a parameter in a function, you have to pass the parameter for sure. So the original price is 1200 and the sale price is 750. So you are passing those 2 parameters here, and you are calling this function, and the value of this outcome, this return value, is will be stored here in this variable %, and you are printing the % value. So when the original price is 1200 and the sale price is 750, so it will you are passing these 2 values to this function. So the function is called, and it is calculated, and now the returning with the 2 decimal places. And then what it is doing, it is returning the value of this to a variable here, %, and we are printing this thing, discount is % here. Okay, so it will be changed actually if we just here put the value of the original price is changed now, so obviously the discount will be changed also. So like this, it will be printed out to 2 decimal places. Another example is BMI values based on the height and weight. This is the height, and this is the corresponding weight. So maybe we can say this is this is the height of person 1, and the weight of person 1 is 60, and this is height of person 2, weight of person 2, height of person 3, weight of person 3, and like this. So we have to save these BMI values to a list. And this is the last example where you will be able to learn to use things together. Here there is a list, there is a loop, and there is also a function. So the built-in function actually. So how to do this together? That is, you want to calculate the BMI values based on height and weight, and save it to here BMIs, and we'll print the BMI values at the last. See here, the BMI list has the same size as the height and weight, because we are just using this loop here for I in range length of height. So length of height is 4 here, so it will repeat the loop up for 4 times, and for the first time it will do this weight of 0 by height of 0. Second time it will do weight of 1 by height of 1, weight of 2 by height of 2, weight of 3 by height of 3, like this. So every time it will calculate this BMI, and it will append the BMI value to the list here, and finally it is just printing the list. That's it. Now let's wrap up with the summary, that when to use what, that when you have to make decisions, then use if else, and when you know that how many times you have to repeat, then you will use for loop, and when you know that, when you don't know how many times you have to repeat the process, use the while loop, and when you have to reuse the same code, same logic, and use the function. So sometimes in a Python you have to use all of this together, like we saw just last example, that a function can contain for loop, if else, this thing inside it. We will be covering other sessions also in my next tutorials, one by one. I'm going very slowly, step by step, so that you can understand the things easily. And when we directly enter into the machine learning concept like KNN, decision tree, random forest, these algorithms implemented using Python, in that time it will be easier for you to understand very clearly. That's why I'm going now a little bit slower. So if you have anything in your mind that I may create tutorials on some other topics also in computer science domain, it might not be necessary the Python only, it can be other topics also. So let me know in the comment box. And this channel is a brand new channel actually, so let me grow with you, and subscribe my channel and share my channel. And thank you everyone.